It's that time of year. It's time for Giant Monster Month. It was only a matter of time until someone combined the extremely popular found footage genre with the giant monster genre. With movies like Paranormal Activity and The Amazing Wreck coming out only the year prior, the world was infatuated with found footage in 2008. Amidst sequels and other generic ghost found footage movies, surfaced a movie that combined the best elements of found footage with the terrifying concept of giant monsters to make a unique and thrilling film. Cloverfield begins with a couple, Rob and Beth, waking up after a night together. The tape then abruptly cuts to a party, indicating that the Rob and Beth adventure is now being taped over. Rob's brother and his girlfriend Lily are hosting a goodbye party for Rob before he leaves for Japan. HUD is put in charge of the camera, and the friends take turns saying their goodbyes for the camera. The party goes well until Beth shows up late, and it becomes clear that Rob and Beth have had some sort of falling out. Beth leaves angry before a loud boom shakes the apartment. News footage shows a destroyed oil tanker, and the group goes outside to get a better look. Another explosion forces everyone to the street level, where the head of the Statue of Liberty crashes nearby. HUD briefly captures a glimpse of a huge monster as the group heads toward the Brooklyn Bridge to evacuate. On the bridge, Rob gets a phone call from Beth and insists on turning back. Before the group can decide one way or the other, the monster's tail collides with the bridge, killing Rob's brother. The remaining group members, Lily, HUD, Rob, and Marlena, head towards Beth's apartment. While stopped at an electronics store, we see more news footage, now clearly showing a giant monster and its battles with the army. Smaller monsters fall from the original and attack the foot soldiers. On the way to Beth's, the group gets caught in the crossfire and witnesses the bombardment of the monster before reaching safety in a subway tunnel. Here, the group is attacked by the smaller monsters and Marlena is bitten. As the group progresses, Marlena's condition worsens, and shortly after finding a military encampment, she's taken away from the group before we see her explode behind a plastic sheet. Still convicted, Rob begs the military to let him continue, and a reluctant soldier warns Rob that if the group isn't evacuated by 6 a.m., then they will be caught in the military's last-ditch effort, called Hammer Down, that will destroy the entire city, hopefully along with the monster. Fortunately, Rob does find Beth in time, and manages to get her and the group to an evacuation helicopter before 6. Lily is taken in the first helicopter and presumably escapes. The rest of the group is not so lucky, as the monster downs their helicopter, injuring Rob in the process. The group isn't able to get far from the crash site before the monster spots them. HUD focuses the camera on the monster, and we get to see its face up close for the first time before it lunges, killing HUD. Rob recovers the camera and hides under a bridge with Beth, before they are killed by the hammer down. Right before they die, Rob and Beth exchange I love yous, before cutting back to their date, on the tape's original recording. Cloverfield is a more effective monster movie because we always experience the monster from the perspective of a person. In most monster movies, the camera is level with the monster's head, meaning that it is easy to tell when we are seeing a guy in a suit. In Cloverfield, this isn't the case. We always see the monster from underneath, from a HUD's camera, or far away, from aerial news footage. This helps make the monster seem huge, and in this movie, there is no doubt about the monster's destructive power. I think that the found footage angle actually contributes a lot to the movie. The normal complaints with the style are still present, like why do they keep recording? But overall, I think the choice makes for a very realistic monster movie. Cloverfield isn't nearly as fun as most of the other movies on this list, but it does balance humorous dialogue with a terrifying subject matter quite nicely. For once, the concept of a giant monster is more scary than it is campy. If you're a fan of monster movies or found footage movies, this one is sure to please.